All right. This is not something I was hoping to come on to talk about today. Um, I was going to actually get up to do the Dynamite stream, not stream, but a review. However, we're in that phase of WWE releases this time around. This is the first uh, batch of releases under what would be considered the Triple H era. Um, we've only had one release uh, so far. I'm prior to this today, which was Eric Young back in April. By the way, I'm Matt the Misfit. This is the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. You know the deal with the dealio. Misfit Podcast TV on Twitter, Misfit Wrestling Pod on Instagram, uh, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, all those places for the audio versions of the podcast. Um, but man, so we have few releases today. We've seen announcements of WWE heading to Australia for uh the what the fuck is that show that's happening in a couple Elimination Chamber, and also announcement of Fox losing SmackDown, which we'll talk about in just a little bit here. But first, I want to go through the releases that were announced today. Unfortunately, and come to find out, WWE, I come to terms on the releases of the following names. Some of these names do not shock me. One of them actually does, because he is, as of right now, still booked to wrestle at No Mercy, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, which is Mustafa Ali, who is technically still scheduled to wrestle Mustafa the match with Dominic Mysterio for the North American Championship. We don't know if that match is going to be taking place now, so that sucks. Other names that have been announced: Top Dollar, Riddick Moss, Emma, Elias, Shelton Benjamin, Aliyah, Rick Boogs, and Dolph Ziggler. Another name that's on there. It's not really that surprising that he's on there. Ryan Nemeth kind of put out a tweet the other day about something or another with him and Dolph, and I'm like, well, he's probably going to be the next one to go, unfortunately. And it comes to find out, well, that's absolutely true. I'm going to try to get some people on here to talk about this release here, or these releases rather. Um, if they want to hop on, they can. So let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find anybody who wants to talk on here with me. Sorry for that knocking sound, but Emma is a little upsetting for several reasons here. Because earlier today they announced that what was it I'm looking for? That they announced the Australia uh Elimination Chamber event, and then just a few, and then it was tweeting about it, and then next thing you know, it's released, and she was tweeting about it. Then she said, "Well, never mind. I've been fired." That's fucked up to see there. Reportedly, I'm not gonna confirm this or anything like that, um, because I'm waiting for reliable sources like Sean Ross Sapp, who does a great job, uh, PW Insider, maybe Brian Alvarez to say that this person's been let go. But Mike Henry is claiming, like he usually is a sack of shit when he says things like this, that uh Tegan Knox has been released, but I don't see that to be true. And here's the tweet here. I'm gonna pull this up here. I'm actually going to I'm going to share a screen here with Twitter. Share the audio here. I can pull that up here. Share the screen here. I see it, so as you can see here, it says, "Oops." All right, here is Emma saying a dream at WWE 1 hour, and then an hour earlier says, "No, oops, never mind. I just got released. I'm no longer with WWE." That is heartbreaking stuff here. We're gonna keep going here. We're gonna go to stuff here. We're just gonna keep going up here. So we're gonna see what else we got here. Sean Rossap says that there's 90-day non-complete clauses with releases. Obviously, when it comes to main roster talent, we also found out that per Brian Alvarez, if I can find his tweet, says within WWE, it is believed that NXT cuts are coming around 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me put this tweet out here. Oh, there's that. Yeah, someone said, "No, they're actually on TV talking about Roxanne and Corey." I'm like, "Well, so was Mustafa Ali, and he's supposed to have a title match next weekend, rather." So we'll see what happens there. I'm not going to be live for the releases for NXT, unfortunately. Actually, fortunately, because I don't want to be live and talking about those, but I wanted to come on here and talk about some of that stuff. And while I'm here, I'm going to talk about the other things that are been announced, like like I said, the Australia show. They're going to be going to, I think this is Perth, on Saturday, February 24th. They're going to be taking place at the Opus Stadium. This is going to be the first time ever that the Elimination Chamber will take place in front of 70,000+ people. This is actually the first, I want to say, because I'm not going to count those Saudi shows, because they don't really, I don't count them as stadium shows. They don't really do them in stadiums that much anymore. But Elimination Chamber joins WrestleMania and SummerSlam and the Royal Rumble for stadium shows. Obviously, Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley and the New Day were in attendance with WWE. Made sense. Rhea Ripley was already over there. She was with Buddy Matthews. I was there for some type of game, but there's that, unfortunately. Another big news that dropped today, it feels like maybe an hour or so before the releases started happening. Friday Night SmackDown is moving back to USA Network starting in October of 2024. Official press release said that SmackDown returns to the USA Network as part of a 5-year deal agreement between WWE and NBC Universal. WWE set to make NBC primetime debut with launch of 4 network specials. I'm assuming this is kind of similar to Saturday night's main event. WWE, part of TKO Group Holdings Incorporated and NBC Universal have come to an agreement, have agreed on to a 5-year deal, 5-year domestic media rights partnership that will bring SmackDown back to USA Network that will air on NBC, marking the first time WWE will air on the network in prime time. Don't think that's true, but excuse me, I've jumped ahead here. WWE will produce 4 primetime specials per year that will air on NBC. I'm going to assume this is somewhat akin to Saturday night's main event. Excuse me. That's what I'm assuming, anyways. Here, SmackDown will come exclusively to NBC Universal as one of television's longest running programs, regularly rating as the number 1 show in the 18 to 49 advertising demographic on Friday nights. It features many WWE superstars, including John Cena, WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns, Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, and Rey Mysterio. Yeah, I'm not going to read the rest of it. Well, actually, I might as well do this here. Excuse me. NBC Universal has tremendous partnership with WWE for decades, said WWE President Nick Khan. We're excited to extend this out a long-standing relationship by bringing SmackDown to USA Network on Friday nights, and look forward to debuting multiple special events annually on NBC. It's a privilege. It's a privilege and thrill to continue NBC Universal's decades-long partnership with WWE, which has helped cement USA Network consistent position as the top-rated cable entertainment network in live viewership, says Francis Broderick, I think is his name, chairman of NBC Universal Entertainment. With Friday nights on USA, primetime specials on NBC, and the WWE Hub on Peacock, we will continue to use the power of our portfolio to super serve this passionate fan base as part of WWE and NBC Universal's outstanding, long-lasting relationship. USA Network is currently home to NXT and Monday Night Raw, which is the number 2 cable entertainment program in 2023 in the 1849 demographic, demonstrating the deeply engaged WWE audience on USA. NXT with 27 plus percent and WWE Monday Night Raw with 15 plus percent are up double digits year over year. Something. Yeah. I'm not going to continue reading that part. In addition, since 2021, Peacock has been the exclusive home of WWE Network in the United States, where Peacock subscribers can stream thousands of hours of on-demand content, including from WWE, including original series, groundbreaking documentaries, fan favorite shows from the WWE archives, and pay-per-view events like WrestleMania, Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and more. WWE continues to drive high engagement on the platform with this April's WrestleMania 39 live pay-per-view live stream, delivering a record-breaking weekend for Peacock as its highest weekend usage to date. So, yeah, they're gonna go back to USA Network. Not actually that surprised by that one. Actually, I am. Unfortunately, interesting enough, Monday Night Raw and NXT, even though they were mentioned in this press release here, if so far, we don't know what's going to happen when Monday Night Raw. I would not be surprised. Like, there's a good chance that WWE does not renew Monday Night Raw for. I must have said something else for Fox. So, uh, so yeah, this is interesting. This is all kind of very interesting to me. Uh, so those are the big stories here. We're still looking out for um WWE content or not releases, unfortunately, which I don't like doing. I mean, this does suck. I'm gonna keep going to here. I'm gonna see if anything else has happened yet. Anybody else been released? That's fine. So far, like I said, let me go through the current rumored or not rumored, the current names to be released from WWE as followed is Dolph Ziggler, Top Dollar, Mustafa Ali, not Roderick Strong, Riddick Moss, Emma, Elias, Shelton Benjamin, Aliyah, and Rick Boogs. Let's go through some of these names here of people that have been released in my initial reactions to this. Like I've already shared my reactions with about Emma. Mustafa Ali was scheduled to wrestle next weekend's No Mercy NXT pay per view against Dominic Mysterio for the North American Championship. That might not be happening now, according to a friend of mine. Mustafa Ali's release was a mutual one. That was probably is apparently the only one here. Riddick Moss, they weren't really doing much. Like a lot of these talents here really weren't doing very much here. Aliyah, I kind of figured it was going to be the end of her run in WWE as soon as she lost the women's tag team titles to Shane. I think who was it? Was it Shayna and was it Shayna and Ronda? Let me look here. It might have been to Damage Control, but I guess it might have been Damage Control. I'm not 100% sure. Let me look here. Who was it? Oh no, it was the two Damage Control. Uh, so but Aliyah, didn't they weren't doing very much with her. Same thing goes for people like Dolph Ziggler hasn't wrestled since I saw this be put up here. He he went into some type of program allegedly with Katie McDonough and then just disappeared. But let's look at this up. Last time Dolph Ziggler had a match was on May 29th, 2023, losing having a 1 minute double countout match against JD McDonough. That was over, let's see. That was over 4 or 5 months ago. It's crazy. Um, but again, Dolph Ziggler, former world champion, they really didn't. They didn't really do much. There was a ceiling for Dolph Ziggler, but it was also a right time and place to push him. 2013 when he cashed in Money in the Bank. I think doesn't matter that he got hurt or not. That shouldn't be put up on against him. The fact that Ziggler is the one who got punished for that, and Mr. Jake fucking Hager did not. Fuck that. And then not pushing Ziggler coming out of Survivor Series in 2014 after that phenomenal star-making performance in the elimination match where Sting debuted. That was dumbass decision not to do that. So there's that. Shelton Benjamin, again, not that surprised here. They weren't doing jack shit with him. As soon as they broke up the Hurt Business, that was pretty much it for Shelton Benjamin on television. Shelton Benjamin, let's see when the last time Shelton Benjamin actually had a match, like a televised match. Let me look here. Let me look here. Shelton Benjamin. There it is. Shelton Benjamin. So Shelton Benjamin last competed. Actually, he competed last week on main event. He teamed with Cedric Alexander. They lost to the Viking Raiders, but like on Monday Night Raw, it was against Indishare. 2 minutes and 6 seconds. They were squashed on June 19th, 2023. Let's look at Rick Boogs here. Rick Boogs is stealing after breaking up with Shinsuke. The splitting with Shinsuke kind of was there. So let's see what we got here. Rick Boogs' last televised match, July 28th. Oh, no. Let me see. Okay, here we go. May 19th, 2023. Street Profits beat up LA Knight, defeated LA Knight and Rick Boogs on Friday Night SmackDown. Again, Rick Boogs, they weren't doing very much with him, so I kind of saw that coming here. Elias, they stopped using Elias like altogether. Elias, like I said, they stopped using Elias altogether. If I can find, let me see if I can find Elias here. Last time Elias was on television was in that Intercontinental Championship #1 Contenders Battle Royal on May 15th this year. Imagine that, like his biggest claim, like, yeah, I don't know. That's just fucked up. And I go through all these here. Emma, they weren't really doing anything with him. I don't think Riddick Moss actually even had a match on Raw, like at all. Let me look here. Like a singles match on Raw. Did he ever have a singles match on Raw? No. He had the what he was in that battle royal. That was it. The last like televised singles match, if you're not counting main event, is when Nakamura beat his ass on April 14th. I think that was Nakamura's return match when Nakamura came back from his hiatus after beating Buddha at I think it was Budokan Hall. I think that's where that match took place. Anyways, but yeah, like I said, excuse me. Let me get a sip of my drink here. I am gonna miss though, Michael Cole, making top dollar puns now, so he can't do the flop dollar anymore and stuff. But I mean, top dollar did flop dollar in WWE. If I'm being completely honest here, and this may sound like a horrible thing to say, I'm not trying to make it sound like it's a horrible thing, so I do apologize. Oh, Sean Rossap did tweet out. He said, I asked a WWE source about and they said that they had not heard of a Tegan Knox release at this point. There is that, which is good. Which would suck here because it was just this week. Becky Lynch tried desperately to push to get a Tegan Knox on television, and then Vince's like, nope, we're gonna give somebody who doesn't fucking deserve a championship match. So Man, imagine how fucked up that would look if they released Tegan Knox, right? After Becky Lynch tried to push to get her on television, and then they're gonna make WWE have put the blame on Natalia for taking up a spot, which she absolutely did. She should have just said, "Nah, boss, I'm good. Give it to Tegan Knox. She deserves to be on the show. I don't really technically really need to be in a title match when I just had a title match last month and lost to Rhea Ripley." Just saying. That's that's here for another day here. Let's see. Do I need to talk about anything else before I get out of here? I was going to save this other stuff here for Saturday or Sunday show. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it now. It's the 5-star Grand Prix. We're in the process of that, and new things have come up. That here, unfortunately, we have another injury to the 5-star Grand Prix. This time comes near the end of the tournament, unfortunately, and that is Utami Hayashita. Was scheduled to wrestle this past yesterday. Was supposed to face Mirai, but unfortunately, due to an injury that she sustained, I guess, sometime between yesterday's show and then Tuesday's show, I feel like this injury had to have happened during the tag match between Queen's Quest between Utami and Azumi versus Mayu and Hazuki that ended in time limited draw, and because of that, they pulled her from the rest of the tournament, and that means Utami can no longer win the title or win the championship match or win the tournament, and her match with Julia has been pulled from the show. So that is unfortunate here, but we do have new standings here, and also we can confirm the following people who have been eliminated from the tournament. Goes as followed. That would be, like I just mentioned, Utami Hayashida. Then we got Azumi, who surprised a lot of people yesterday by beating Julia in 55 seconds. Is eliminated. Mariah May, who lost to Micah. Was it Micah? I think Micah's the one who eliminated her. Odd. Maya Iwatani has been eliminated, and Natsupoi has been eliminated. So, and if I can put up the tweet from Scott E. Wrestling, shout out to Scott E. Wrestling, who does a great job here. So here's what he says here. His tweet as follows says, "Here's who remains in contention for the 5-star Grand Prix ahead of this weekend's shows. Not from the Red Stars, we got Natsuko Toro, Tam Nakano, Suzuki, Shiri, and Hazuki. On the blue block here, Mirai, Julia, Micah, and Mina Shirakawa. The situations this weekend. Hazuki versus Suzuki. Doesn't matter who loses the match, they're out of the tournament. It's a must win for either woman there. Micah versus Mina Shirakawa. Mina loses, she's out of the tournament. Micah loses, she will need a match that's not taking place, so she's gonna have to win this match, otherwise she's out of the tournament. And if she wins, she beats. Interesting enough, if she beats Micah, or if Micah beats Mina, she will be tied with Mirai with 10 points, and they will have to do the tiebreaker match. And they will have to do the tiebreaker match with Mirai, which and I'm assuming the winner of Mirai and Micah is going to go to the finals. That's still my prediction here. Also, And also, if they do a time limit draw, that keeps both of them in the tournament. But Micah gets the edge as she could win her blocker. I still think Micah's going to win her block here. The Red Stars, I don't know how, like, that one's going to be interesting. We'll talk about that in a second. Speaking of Red Stars, Shuri and Starlight Kid. Shuri loses, she's out. So I wouldn't put anything past here. So there is that. We got Suki Bond later tonight. I do plan on doing something for that show. I don't know how we're going to pull this show off. But I don't know how we're gonna do this. I'm very interested to see how this show works out here. We did find out the actual card here. If I can pull it up here for Sukiban, if I can find the tweet here, it's in here somewhere. Sukiban. Let me see if I can find the. Oh, here we go. Sukiban's official match card here for today, which is going to be streaming exclusively on TikTok. So I don't know how that. I didn't know TikTok did live streams. But I'm pretty sure there's other ways to watch it. I'm not going to share that here. But today they're going to be in New York. I don't exactly know where in New York this is going to take place, but I just know it just says New York City. I've got the Cherry Bomb Girls versus the Vandals, which is Crush You, Supersonic, Roko Blondie versus Atomic Banshee, Otaku-chan, and Bingo. We got a three-way match. Saki Bami. Saki Bimi, I think that's what it is. Queen Tayaski and X. We got a special singles match. Midnight Player versus Stray Cat. Leon sorry, I believe that's who it is. Dangerous Leon says. And I think the Tarakujo Stars, which is Maya Maishushi, a babyface versus Commander Nakajima and a lady and Nonte. I think I mispronounced that name incorrectly. And sorry. And then the main event for the to see who will win the first ever women's championship here in Sukiban. Cordis Soriano, obviously you know her. She is the current Goddess Stardom Tag Team Champions with Natsupoi versus Ichigo Sayaka, which is Unagi Sayaka from her days of Stardom, obviously. This is kind of hilarious when you think about it. These two members are technically both members of Cosmic Angels, so it's a Cosmic Angels main event. Sukiban again streaming this I guess this weekend, or not this weekend, later on tonight. But yeah, I don't really have anything else here to talk about. Well, I'm gonna bring one last thing here up. Montez Ford was asked about CM Punk and if he would welcome him back, and he said the following, and I quote: "They asked my opinion on it, so I'm open to every single aspect, talent in the world, whether they come from all life's work. I feel like everyone has something to bring to the table, believe it or not, whether people love this individual or not. And this goes for any WWE superstar. If they're generating buzz and generating topics and generating people talking, that's all good for business," which is technically true. I love to be the person to always welcome someone back with great arms. If he wants to make his way back, I guess we can have a battle and see who is the best person from Chicago. Which if Punk does come back to WWE, I wouldn't mind seeing Montez Ford versus CM Punk. Right now, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins are doing a heel run with the quote unquote new Hurt Business with Bobby Lashley. But yeah. So that's basically all I have for this show, this particular live stream, I will be doing my review of recap stuff of Dynamite on Sunday's podcast. I thought my quick reaction to the Grand Slam. I thought Grand Slam overall was an excellent show outside of the stupid botch from Rick Knox, who decided not to count the three the first time when Jon Moxley was concussed. So I AEW referees need to be taught like WWE referees. They need to be taught that refereeing is a shoot. If you're going to count the three, count it like it's a shoot. Doesn't matter that the person did not move or not. Count it as a shoot. Saraya unfortunately defeated Toni Storm. Toni Storm's new character is over as fuck. I love it. Eddie Kingston finished his story before Cody Rhodes. We'll talk. There's something I want to talk about there with Cody Rhodes in a little bit. Before I go out of here. And fantastic main event between Samoa and MJF. I did love the little tribute to Bret Hart there. Speaking of Cody Rhodes, apparently there is some type of apparently something about the strike. If I can pull this up here, I'm going to pull the strike here. There's a thing here, if I can find it here. Okay, so here's NBC. CNBC put out this tweet, this report earlier today saying Hollywood studios, writers near agreement to end strike, hope to finalize the deal Thursday, sources say. David Faber tweet says, after face-to-face meeting today, writers, producers near agreement to end the WGA strike met today and hope to finalize the deal tomorrow, which is today, according to people close to the negotiation who, while optimistic, warned that without a deal tomorrow, strike will likely continue through the end of the year. And if that is the case, good news for Cody Rhodes, because if they're going to end the strike, Cody Rhodes can hopefully finish his story. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's something else to look out for today. As that. When it comes to the releases to NXT, I will let you guys know about that. When I'll talk about that. You just follow the social medias, Misfit Podcast TV on Twitter, and I'll have all that details there as followed there. But I will see you guys back here hopefully later tonight for Tsukibon their first Skabon, actually. Sorry, I call it Tsukibon earlier. Skabon. And we'll see, so Skabon, I'll see you guys back here for Skabon. We'll see how that show turns out. The show might be actually a lot of fun. I'm intrigued to see where that goes here. Before that, I want to talk about the matches that are coming up at the 5-Star Grand Prix. We also got other matches that were announced here. We got the next card, the two next shows here. By the way, Dream Tag Festival was really a lot of fun, by the way. I just want to put that out here. Julia Suzuki and Utami Hayashita. They had a fantastic match. I don't know. I probably talked about it already last week, but it was great stuff. The new Blood shows have been announced, and the card for a golden fight were announced. So we're going to talk about that here. The final matches for the 5-star Grand Prix this weekend, we have Hazuki versus Suzuki and Micah versus Mina Shirakawa on Saturday. On Sunday, we have Shuri versus Starlight Kid. I am assuming Shuri's going to beat Starlight Kid. I am predicting Suzuki to beat Hazuki, and I'm predicting Micah to get her 11 points on the board. I assume she's going to get her 11 points on the board. And hopefully win her block there. For the 5-star finals, most of these matches don't matter here, but we've got Mayu Iwatani versus Starlight Kid, which should be a lot of fun. Tam Nakano versus Natsupoi. I kind of want Natsupoi to win this, so that way fucking Tam Nakano doesn't get the finals. Shuri and Ami Shirai, who will be challenging Julia for the New Japan Strong Women's Championship on I think it's one of these shows. I don't know. I don't actually remember what show it is that's taking place here, but I'll have to look it up here. Asuka and Natsuko Toro, which I would love to see Natsuko lose to Hazuki. I would love to see Hazuki versus Micah as the finals match because that's the first time ever match. Mirai versus Micah. Micah should absolutely win that one. Asumi Momo Watanabe. 3 years in the making. Momo Watanabe. I seen that. There was a picture of Momo floating around that I saw, and I said that's like with her match with Mina, and she looked like she was like. I seen the look in her eyes of like, that looks like a serial. She looks like a serial killer right now. That's what she looks like. She was murdering her, and it was great. Hanan and Mariah May, like I said, 2 people who have been eliminated that don't really matter here. Mina Shirakawa, Sariano, the goddess herself. Again, as if Mina loses, that's not going to matter there. And then, obviously, I'm going for personally my finals. I have Micah versus Suzuki because Suzuki not only will she hopefully beat Hazuki to get 2 points, but she also will earn 2 points from the match with the match that was supposed to take place with her and Saya Kamatani. Let's go through this other card here. I may have talked about these cards on the Apollo Driver Pulse on this past week, but we got the New Blood show. We did find out the New Blood show will not be streamed once again. We got Hina. I think I've already went through this card actually. Never mind. Never mind here. But the Stardom Golden fight show, I believe they did announce that Julia is going to defend. Julia is not defending the title on that show. She's defending the Artist Stardom title. She's supposed to be defending some type of title at some point. I don't know when's that. Let me look that up here. Let me look here. Hang on a second. Let me look here. I know this match was. Oh, here we go. October 1st. So that's just a regular at Kurgan Hall. She will defend that title against. Okay, that makes sense. That absolutely makes sense. I don't know why I thought that here. But let me get through this Nagawa Golden Fight show here. Shuri, Mina Shirakawa, UWF rules. I'm gonna go with Shuri on that one to win that one. Like I said, Saki Kashima will probably meet Mesura. If it's a high speed title, Julia Tekla and Mai Sakurai will maybe retain against Megan Bain, Micah, and Suzuki. There's that on that one. Natsupoi and Soriano will defend against maybe Dispatchers right now up in the air. As of right now, it's scheduled to be between Azumi and Utami Haista. That may be changing to possibly somebody like Lady C or who else is in Queen's Quest or Kevin herself, Mayu Amazaki or Hina. If that's a big if Utami is definitely out for the rest of that would suck if Utami is off the remainder of the of the year. But as right now, that match is still scheduled to take place with Utami. However, it is up in the air depending on how severe her injury is, because we don't know what her injury is until we watch the match, or if we find out from Stardom themselves rather. Uh, Kairi's final match before heading back to WWE will be teaming with Nanae Takahashi and Mayu Iwatani to take on Hazuki Koguma and Saida. Wonder Stardom Championship. Mirai I'm hoping that God loses to Momo Watanabe, and Natsuko Tora will challenge Tamanako, which for the World Stardom Championship, which no one follows her of winning the 5-star. But other than that, I've been Matt the Misfit. It's been the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I'm hoping to God no other releases. I keep refreshing the page here just to see if anybody else has been released here. So Fightful did today here. We'll learn more about. We have learned a lot more ahead of the Fightful Select today, when some of the deals were scheduled to run out. Plans in SAR, backstage news, and some of these here. I'm gonna go to Fightful Select here and check something out real quick before I get out of here. I don't want to be on here for very much longer. Let's see. Let me here. Here. Yeah, nothing else as of now. WWE sources. We spoke with that mass cups were not discussed under Triple H, and this is direct correlation to the merger. So this is going to happen regardless. So, but yeah. But again, I've been Matt the Misfit. This has been the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I will see you guys back here later on tonight, hopefully for Sukeban. I said it again. I screwed that up multiple times. We'll, I don't know, if need be, I will try to mention something about the NXT stuff if there is any NXT releases here. But until then, we are out of here. See you guys later for Sukeban. Escape on.